Hi everyone, welcome to English with Aga. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to learn English in 2024. So I'm going to share my top tips with you today. Before we start, subscribe to my channel and get your free English grammar booklet from the video description. So, the first tip is about reading. And reading should take up around 70% of your study time in English. It's so important. There are so many things you could be reading. Children's books, bilingual books, books that you have already read in your native language so you know the story, books about topics that you're really interested in. And this is how you can do it. Take a page, read it for meaning. So don't worry about individual words. Don't translate anything yet. Just read it and try to get as much meaning out of it as possible. Next, decide how many new words you want to learn from that page and focus on looking up just the words that stop you from understanding the meaning. You can highlight them, but don't just look at the individual words. You should also look at the words next to them. So often, words come together as a collocation, which is a combination of words that sound natural together. And what you need to do when you're learning English is to learn collocations, because they allow you to sound more natural and more like a native speaker. It's not enough to learn individual words. You have to know how they work in sentences. This takes me to tip number 2, which is about learning vocabulary. When you find a word that you don't understand, don't just check the meaning in your own language. First, look up the definition of that word in English. Go to an online dictionary and type it in. This will give you the definition. If you still don't understand it, then look it up in your language, but try to do it in English first. That will give you some extra practice. The next thing you want to do is look at that dictionary entry. It will have some examples of sentences. I want you to find them and write them down in your vocabulary notebook. So when you write down a new word, it's not just the word. You need examples as well. Then go to a different dictionary and find more examples. I recommend that you find 2 or 3 different sentences and write them down. This will help you memorize the word better and understand how it works in real language, in sentences, not just as an individual word. The next tip is spaced repetition, and it's a technique for learning and remembering vocabulary. So in your vocabulary notebook, you can highlight words and phrases in different colors. The first time you look at them and learn them, highlight them in green, for example. Then come back to them after a week. If you feel like you know them, you can highlight them in yellow. That means you will come back to them after 2 weeks. But if you're still not sure if you know them, highlight them in orange and come back to them the next day or in a couple of days. So you will have different colors depending on how well you feel that you know the word. And the idea is that you come back to those words regularly, more often for some words and less often for other words. But you keep coming back to them over and over and over again until you really feel that you know them. Next, speaking practice. even if you don't have anyone to talk to. So with every new word, you look up the meaning, you look up some examples of sentences, then you make up your own examples and you say them out loud. So that's how you get some speaking practice whenever you're learning vocabulary. There are also some simple tasks that you could be doing every week to practice your speaking. At the end of your day, you can sit down and talk about what happened that day. Tell the story of your day and say it out loud. You can walk around your home and describe what you can see. You can go for a walk outside and describe what you can see outside. You can sit down and imagine that you're giving an interview, that you're famous and you talk to an interviewer. Or you can pretend that you're presenting a cooking show next time you're preparing a meal. There's so many things you could be doing. It might feel a bit silly, but it's actually really helpful. My next tip is to join one of my online English video courses. We have courses on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. You get video lessons and exercises with each course, and you can get 10% off with the code which is in the video description. So check my courses out if it's something that you feel could help you with your English this year. And finally, and this is very important, set yourself some specific and ambitious goals. So I want you to set goals for the next 12 months. What do you want to achieve? What do you want your English to sound like at the end of 2024? Write down your goals, but also think about some smaller goals for the first 3 months. So between January and March, what do you want to achieve? Then write down even smaller goals just for January. What do you want to achieve by the end of January? Be specific, but also ambitious. Next, write down some specific actions that you're going to take to achieve your goals. What exactly are you going to do and when? I encourage you to put it in your calendar like it's a doctor's appointment, like your life depends on it. Once it's in your calendar, it will be easier to stick to the schedule to make sure that you achieve your goals. So, good luck in 2024. Make sure you check out the discount code for my courses in the video description, and I wish you all the best. Let me know how it goes in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!